It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Chad Erickson. Good to have you all with us for this weekend's edition of Sports Wrap. Coming up, Nick Ferguson will join us, the former NFL safety with KOA Radio in Denver. Gives us his thoughts on the recent controversy involving Deion Sanders and his son Shadeur Sanders clapping back at critics of theirs online. Robert Littal of Black Sports Online will drop by as well, talk about potential PED trouble for Ryan Garcia coming off a big win. But we start things out in the NBA, and of course, if we're going to do that, we got to talk about the Knicks and Pacers. They will meet in the next round of the postseason. Knicks handling the 76ers on Thursday night, Pacers handling the Bucks. My colleague Sam Yarnell and I discussing that right on Sports Wrap this week. As I told you, the Knicks would close out the Philadelphia 76ers, and they did. Because Jalen Brunson is him. He continues to be him. The guy just continues to perform at an insane level. 4 games in this series with 39 or more in double-digit assists for the Knicks, who go into Philadelphia. And by the way, there were still Knicks fans there, Josh Harris. Still Knicks fans there. They were still there. Just so you know. We still found our way in. Knicks beat the 76ers last night. Boy, that series was worthy, Sam, of something more than an opening round series. Easily the most exciting of all the playoff series so far.
100%, Jason. I would have loved to see that series in the second round or even the conference finals. That would be a lot of fun. But neither of these teams are going to touch the Celtics. So, I mean, obviously, we're not going to see it in the conference finals. This was incredibly impressive. And, you know, like you said, Jalen Brunson, my God, the dude is a cold-blooded killer at this point. Hitting that shot last night and then looking up at the championship banners hanging that he hung in that barn. that was a cool moment. That was a really cool thing to see. I will say, still concerned for me on the Knicks front. Don't get me wrong, they are a talented basketball team. Dante DiVincenzo played 48 minutes in this game. Josh Hart played 46 minutes in this game. OG played 45 minutes in this game. Tibbs is really, really, really stringing out his starters in the first round. It's just making me nervous for this Knicks team going forward, and I really think that they're going to hit a wall at some point.
I think they still get enough rest. I still think in the playoffs it's different because you don't have the back-to-backs. In some cases, you get 2 nights in between games. Yes, I don't like the fact that the Knicks are going basically 7 and 8 deep. I would like to see more Precious Achiuwa. Get him a few minutes out there. But the reality is, Tom Thibodeau is going to go with the horses that got him there throughout this season. And also say this, end of that game last night, Knicks didn't look worse for wear. Knicks didn't look tired. Knicks didn't look like they were running out of gas. Now, granted, when you get into the conference semis, you get into the conference finals, maybe an NBA championship series, it could be a different story, and we'll find out because we've never had a chance to see a Tom Thibodeau team that deep other than, early on in these years with the Chicago Bulls. We haven't really had a chance to see what happens, so we're going to find out.
I think another thing that just makes me a little nervous is that, like, if the other Eastern Conference series went 7 or like still had games to play, I would feel a lot more confident in being able to get that rest back. It makes me nervous on top of it all because the Knicks and Sixers ended up finishing in that last group, so they'll have the shortest turnaround time. That's all. I agree with you, though, on the Precious thing. I'd like to see them mix Deuce McBride into the starting rotation and maybe try to get Josh Hart off the bench if you're really talking about slowing things down and trying to save guys minutes.
Josh Hart is so big to that. He is the heart and soul
of that team. I'm not discrediting that, but I think
from a guts standpoint, he's the
if you
guts.
think about the regular season with this team, Miles McBride had a ton of success in that starting lineup, and I don't want to say that it's completely fallen off since Tibbs rotated him in off the bench at the beginning of the playoffs, but I think that it's pretty obvious that his production has stepped back a hair. And I think getting into the starting rotation could maybe try and mix that up a little and maybe save a little guy's legs as we get deeper into these playoffs.
Knicks and the Pacers get started on Monday. Last I checked, Knicks minus 6.5 in game 1. That feels high. that feels like a bit much. I can't ever bet against the Knicks because my core will not allow me to do that. This program, I am not programmed to do that. There's something written in my coding that will not allow me to do that. I can't do it.
It's like me betting against the Nats.
Yeah, there you go. Or me betting against the Yankees. I can't do it. So but I would not lay the 6.5. That feels like it's awful high. If I was forced to bet anything on a game where the Knicks are giving 6.5 to the Pacers, I'll take the Pacers plus 6.5. Have you watched this postseason with the Knicks?
Right. That's my thing, right? It feels like a missed number because, like, it feels to me off the top of my head, how many games have the Knicks played in this postseason that haven't been 6-point games? I feel like they've played more games that have been 6-point games one way or the other. Yeah, then they haven't played. So I do feel like it's a missed number, but I'm with you. I'm not going to bet it. Quite frankly, I don't have confidence in either of those teams to beat the other one.
What's the series number on that? I'm just happening to look right now while I have it in front of me. I didn't plan to actually have it. But I'm sorry. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. I'm prepared. Knicks minus 265. Pacers plus 210. No, I'm not touching that. I do think the Knicks win the series, but but that's way too much.
That's wildly high. Like, it might be worth a sprinkle on the Pacers at 2-1.
I can't say that at 2.6. Yeah, I can't do it.
That's incredible.
Let's shift gears to boxing and a potential PED problem for Ryan Garcia. Robert Littal of Black Sports Online loves to cover boxing. We'll get his thoughts on that and much more as we continue on Sports Wrap. Stay with us.
Over 13 million Americans were affected by identity theft in 2022, and the threats go way beyond just credit card fraud. Today's identity thieves can use your information in ways that are easy to miss by just monitoring accounts and credit, like opening loans, transferring home titles, even committing crimes.
Someone got my social security number, made a driver's license, and it was used for criminal activity.
You can do so much with a social security number that I didn't know could happen. They drained my bank account. It was terrifying.
You're even more vulnerable than you realize. Your information is exposed through online shopping, banking, even corporate data breaches. No wonder there's a new victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. Only LifeLock alerts you to the widest volume of threats all in one place, like someone trying to use your social security number, open a new loan in your name, or even commit a crime in your name.
There was a big yes button and there was a big no button. I clicked, "That's not me," and LifeLock took it from there.
If you become a victim of identity theft, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will be assigned to your case and work to fix the issue on your behalf.
If something happens, you have somebody fighting for you.
All LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds, personal expenses, and coverage for lawyers and experts up to $1 million. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. With LifeLock, it's easy to help protect yourself.
I will be with LifeLock forever.
Join the millions of people already protected by LifeLock. And for a limited time, save 25% on your first year with promo code 25TV. All plans include a 60-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-710-7531 or visit lifelock.com/25TV to save 25% on your first year of identity theft protection. Enroll now.
Attention families with a loved one in a nursing home. If your loved one has suffered from bed sores, falls, broken bones, dehydration, or even death, you may be entitled to a substantial settlement. If you have a loved one who is injured in a nursing home, we will find out what happened. State violations are found against nursing homes every day. You have a limited time to file your claim, so don't wait. Call 800-398-5999 and speak with one of our attorneys. The call is confidential and free.
Welcome back to the show. Ryan Garcia, big story this week. Scored a huge win over Devin Haney in a recent match between the two, but now it's been revealed that Garcia failed a drug test that was taken prior to his fight against Haney. We talked about it with our friend Robert Littal of Black Sports Online. He loves to cover boxing. What could this suspension mean for Garcia if it does come down? Speaking of Ryan Garcia, for people who didn't see it, he has been found to have tested positive for steroids before his fight, or performance-enhancing drugs for his fight against Devin Haney, which he won. He didn't win the title. What, because he didn't make weight? Is that essentially the gist of it? He didn't win the title because he didn't make weight.
If you don't make weight, you cannot fight for the title.
So he can't fight for the title, but he did win the fight by decision. And now it's been found that he tested positive before the fight for steroids. Of course, they didn't know until after the fight that he had tested positive. He took to social media last night on his X, and this was what he said. Take a listen to this incredibly grounded individual you're about to witness.
I came on here to address this bull claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? Why didn't they come out with this before, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with the victory and then they post this, Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken a steroid in my life. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. So, at the end of the day, big lies. I beat his ass out of here. Everybody go to Warwick tonight. It's lit.
And I was with this guy every single day, and I never ever saw
the Haney.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Where do we even begin?
Well, the first thing is he's being disingenuous. He knows that if they take a sample on, say, the first, it always takes between 10 and 14 days to get the results. The way that we know he's being disingenuous is because he posted a VADA letter early in the promotion showing that he tested negative for steroids that showed that exact same thing, the date that it was collected and the date that the test results, came in. Secondly, to say that everybody knows that he's not a cheater, and then knowing that he said himself that he had decided that he was not going to make the weight, which is essentially cheating. If you have decided that you're not going to make the contractual weight, how do we know that he's not a cheater? How do we know he's never done this before? And also to say that people are against him and this weapon should not prosper again. This is an independent drug testing lab. I'm sure Betty or Maurice, who's doing the testing, is not saying, hey, I hate Ryan Garcia.
Maurice? Wait, hold on a second. Maurice? That's the name Maurice you come up with?
Yeah, Maurice and Bay sprinkled a little something in there because they don't like Ryan Garcia. In fact, the fact that Ryan Garcia makes so much money for the sport of boxing, it is not in boxing's best interest to throw him under the bus.
I agree. But we live in this world where, we get gaslit all the time. And he's going to sit here and do that and try to say what you're seeing with your own eyes. If it doesn't sound familiar, by the way, to stuff happening in the political world.
Well, he even said that, he hung out with Trump, then all of a sudden this came in.
Stuff of him, the video of him shadowboxing with Deion Sanders and Deion just singing his praises. And then a couple days later, he gets busted for PEDs and you're just sitting there going, oh my God.
It must be Colorado. It must be people hate Deion. So they want to get Ryan so Colorado can go 6-6 this year.
So what are the long-term implications here if this is all upheld? What does the suspension look like for something like this?
Probably, unless he has a really good, even if he has a good explanation, you're getting 6 months right off the bat. The commissions believe in VADA and believe in the VADA testing. So unless something comes back with a B test that says they were wrong, no matter what explanation he gives, even if it was an accident, he's probably going to get 6 months. If he doesn't have a good explanation, he's looking at a year suspension, a substantial fine as well. So a portion of his purse will be taken away, from him. And the decision will be changed from a win on his record and a loss on Devin Haney's record to either a no contest or a no decision, to where Devin Haney won't have that loss anymore on his record.
The bottom line, though, here, and we got about 45 seconds left in this segment, is we're going to get a rematch between these guys at some point now. We have to, right?
Yeah. Well, it's boxing, and a lot of guys have popped dirty in boxing and has come back in a year, come back in 6 months. And basically, nothing ever happens.
Former NFL safety Nick Ferguson joins us next. Shadeur Sanders and Dad Deion under the spotlight for the wrong reason. We'll talk about it next. I want to bring on our man, Nick Ferguson, who does a terrific job. KOA Radio in Denver. The former NFL safety hangs out with us on the program today. You were the first person I thought of when I saw Deion and Shadeur Sanders clapping back at a former Colorado Buffaloes player. And all I could think to myself is, man, is this what Colorado signed up for? Like, did Colorado know it was getting this? That it was getting a coach? I mean, first of all, there's a term called punching down. If this guy is, is as much of a nobody and all of this, or not talented, or whatever you want to say, as they're trying to make him out to be, why are you even punching back? Why is your son getting involved? This kid who's potentially going to be a star quarterback in the NFL someday. Why are you, as Deion Sanders, who went 4-8 last year, clapping back at this guy? I don't understand what the point of any of this is. And I have to imagine the folks at Colorado that are watching this are saying, man, all this crap that you come with, you better sure as hell win this year.
Yeah, let's start with the people at Colorado. I mean, you just said it. Before Deion arrived, they were 1-11. No one was really talking about the University of Colorado about anything. The last time he spoke of the University of Colorado is the Hail Mary by Cordell Stewart. So while some may not like this, and I know you don't, Rick
you
Jordan,
do? But wait a minute. You do? You like this?
We're not talking about me. We're not talking about me.
Yes, I am. I have you on the show. You can't like this.
You talking about the people of Colorado, and the people of Colorado love this. You know why? Because you're constantly getting content. People are talking about a team that was 4-8. You want 3 more games than the previous coach.
It's low rent. It is not befitting. It's not befitting of a college institution. It's not befitting of something that wants to consider itself a world-class institution. Come on.
Wait. You've been in this media business for a while.
Yes.
And we both heard the same thing. Even bad publicity is good publicity. And we know that Deion and his sons have done an excellent job of using both good and bad publicity to push things ahead. Now, let's get back to the idea of Shadeur and Coach Prime. Now, I don't like the fact that Shadeur even responded, because when you are doing well and you're on the top of the mountain, people are going to come for you. And based on the level of branding and, I guess, social media content, that puts Shadeur, CU, and his father in a whole echelon opposed to some of the other programs. So what we're seeing playing out are things that typically happen in college programs. The only thing is, social media now is really navigating that path, because when I was in college, things like this would happen all the time. Guys would transfer, there'd be words exchanged, but it just would take place within the organization. And I'll say this, remember Kim Mulkey, right? In that big article, I don't know, it was Washington Post or whoever was supposed to come out, where they had players saying that they're going to bash her because how she treated them. It happens in athletic sports. But because we live in a modern day of technology with social media, more of it is out there. Now, for Shadeur Sanders, for a guy like you said, who is going to be perceived as being a top pick in next year's draft, he should have not said a thing, because teams take every little detail.
There's no way an NFL team likes seeing this stuff. It's a maturity issue.
Right. So this is where I don't think he should have done this. But we still live in a world where there is hot back. I got to get my get back. You said something to me, so I'm coming after you. And then Deion Sanders, when he was talking, I think maybe to a father, say, hey, my son's going to be a top pick. Where's your son going to be? Right? It's just like, whoa, hey, look, man, even if you feel that way, let's not do that. Right? Let's not do that. Let's try to keep it civilized. But just like I know, JP, let's not act as we don't know. But this is what happens when you get people feuding against one another. Like there was something with Kamani McClain, who was a prize selection by Deion Sanders. He stole him from the University of Miami. And Kamani McClain was one of the top prospects coming out. He didn't live up to expectations because he didn't really go to class. He didn't work as hard. So Coach Prime has a problem with that, because you see a guy with a lot of ability who's not living up to it. So Coach Prime is not one of these coaches that he's going to bite his tongue. He was never that guy. So he's going to say what he's going to say. And now we have several players jumping into the portal. I think like 14 guys are jumping into the portal. But Prime is like, look, man, we good. Because guess what? 14 go out, 14 coming in.
Listen, if you're going to talk this smack, if you're going to put all this out there, you better walk it. I mean, because I think the leash gets exponentially shorter if you are in the headlines for these reasons, and then you can't back it up with wins. There's another vacancy in the head coaching department in the NBA. Who shouldn't take the job? That's next in Odds and Ends.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 or more a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call now and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us anytime, day or night, and start saving big money for the exact same results. Have your credit card ready. Ordering is fast and easy, with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. Call now.
All right, just about time to wrap up the program, but before we do, time for some odds and ends. Odds and ends. The Lakers said farewell to the postseason. They were eliminated by the Nuggets this week, and boy, Jamal Murray had a lot to do with that, didn't he? But now the Lakers have fired their head coach, Darvin Ham, and of course that's going to lead to speculation about who potentially takes over a job coaching two future Hall of Famers in Anthony Davis and obviously LeBron James. But here's the problem. J.J. Redick is a guy who's being bounced around as a potential candidate for this job. J.J. Redick should not take this job. If I were J.J. Redick's agent, which I wouldn't mind doing, I would tell J.J. Redick this. You're making tons of money right now in the broadcast booth. You are an up-and-comer there. You have many years ahead of you if you want to go be a coach. If you're going to be a coach, it's not going to be for the Los Angeles Lakers. I love LeBron James. Anybody who's watched me on this show or listened to me on the radio back in the day knows I am a huge LeBron James fan. But the one thing about coaching LeBron James is it usually doesn't end well for the person coaching LeBron James. Heck, Frank Vogel won a championship for the Lakers, albeit during the COVID year in the NBA. How'd that turn out for him? He's coaching in Phoenix now, and that's not going very well either. J.J. Redick, you got a great thing right now. Don't screw around with it. Stick to the broadcasting, stick to the podcasting, stay with ESPN. You've got a wonderful thing going for yourself. It will be interesting to see, though, where the Lakers go in their head coaching search. I know where we're going. We're done. Show's over. Thank you to Robert Littal, Nick Ferguson, and Sam Yarnell. Have yourselves a great remainder of the weekend, however much time is left in it. We'll see you back here next weekend or during the week for Sports Wrap, depending on where you watch us. I'm Jason Page. That's all for now.